Smoke on the Water. Do you love it or hate it? If you're a guitarist, do you play it? Well, my name's Greg Harradine, I'm a composer, and on this episode of Good Art, Bad Art, this is episode 58, I'm going to give my defense of Smoke on the Water. I think it is an excellent, fantastic song, and I'm going to explain why. I'm not going to give a history of the song, I'm going to talk about the song itself and why it's so good. Now, exhibit number 1. I will first of all share the fact that my 3 children all love it. Now that's not really evidence, you might say, but they're all different ages, right? One's nearly 5, one's 3, and one's 18 months, and we play them all sorts of music, absolutely everything. And they love listening to different stuff. But it's one of the few riffs that they all, off their own back, have started humming or singing. And I have not encouraged them to do this in the slightest. The nearly 5-year-old and my 3-year-old can hum it perfectly. Yeah? Dum, 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 and so on. They've got it. And even my 18-month-old, she gives it a good shot. She hums the last phrase. Dum, 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 dum. Right? Anyway, so something about it connects with even very young children. You might say, well, it's because it's a simple riff, simplistic even, repetitive. We do hear the riff a lot, but that doesn't have to be a bad thing, yeah? The way it's built up is just so satisfying, right? First we hear the guitar, Ritchie Blackmore, yeah? Playing the riff in these open fourths, these parallel fourths, which just give it a kind of just a nice stability in a way, right? But it's not as brash as the full power chord, yeah, because it's an open fourth instead. Ritchie Blackmore, guitar, played with the fingers, interestingly, first of all. Then we get the organ joining at the same time as hi-hats, yes? The great distorted Hammond organ sound, aping the sound of the guitar almost. And the hi-hats, playing the semiquavers, yeah? So we're building up. Right? Then the snare comes in on beats 2 and 4, of course, yeah? And then we're waiting, bass comes in, boom, 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 just sticking on the root, right? The bass guitarist could have easily, Roger Glover could have easily just played the same riff, but he doesn't. He stays on the root for a long time, and then sometimes goes up to the C and the B flat as well. And then we get the kick drum coming in, and we're waiting, aren't we? We're waiting for the verse. So it's just a lovely kind of build-up, yeah, of bringing the different instruments in one by one, the different parts of the drum kit. Very satisfying. And the drum fills. I mean, we have to single out Ian Pace on his incredible drumming. He's just got such a great feel, yeah, and his fills are fantastic. They're so they're driving the song forward. They're imaginative. They're creative. And Ian Gillan's vocals are, wow, just iconic, are they not? Yeah? We have the verse, which is pretty simple, right? We're just kind of in G minor, right? We hear G minor and F chords, pretty simple stuff. Telling the story of how the Montreux casino burnt down. 1971, 1 year before they recorded this album, Machine Head. So the verse is good. But then the chorus is outstanding because we get this slightly surprising harmonic sequence, right? When he sings "Smoke on the Water," we get C major chord, right? A fourth above G. It's a nice link to the parallel fourths of the riff, perhaps. C major. And then, surprise, A flat major. Yeah, just a single semitone above G where we're starting. You could call that a Neapolitan chord, usually a classical music thing. So basically a flattened second chord. And it perks your ears up, yeah? And Ian Gillan does some great vocal harmony on that chorus, does he not? Which really highlights that change from C major to A flat major, kind of descending sound. Because we go from E natural in the C major chord to E flat in the A flat major chord, and then we're back to G minor, of course. And later on, we have the outstanding guitar solo. Yes, what a good guitar solo by Ritchie Blackmore. And underneath it, we've got this kind of gallop rhythm on the snare drum. Yes, that Ian Pace is playing. And yeah, the riff, it's so iconic, and people say, oh, it's overplayed. Maybe it's overplayed. And, people get tired of hearing it in music shops or guitar stores, whatever. But it is an iconic riff. Ritchie Blackmore has compared it, apparently. I don't know exactly what way, but he's compared it to the opening of Beethoven's Fifth Symphony. Da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na. Another famous four-note riff. I guess you could compare them. They're both iconic, yeah. They're both simple, you could say. But then Beethoven goes on to use that riff to generate really all the material, or most of the material for that movement of Symphony No. 5. The riff, I don't know how much material it generates for, say, the verse and the chorus, although, yeah, maybe a little bit. Yes, but it's the song, it's just got the world over, hasn't it? People across the world know that riff, and it often gets people into guitar, right? Still to this day, I teach guitar, by the way, as well as piano. And still, children are coming to me and asking off their own back, oh yeah, can I learn this? Or what I often do is I give them a choice. I play a few riffs and I say, which one do you want to learn? And mostly they want to learn Smoke on the Water. It's a great entry into playing guitar because it's pretty easy to play. You can even simplify it and play it in an even simpler way on single notes rather than those parallel fourths that Ritchie Blackmore plays. So yeah, it is interesting, isn't it, how it's beloved of old rockers and children and all sorts of people alike. And just the band, when you listen to it, if you sit and listen carefully, as is true of so many of these rock bands, great rock bands recording in the 70s, 80s and before, in the 60s, they're a tight unit, thriving off each other, yeah, recording together, and the musicianship is just at very high levels, yeah. Today, we can do things a bit too clinically sometimes. We can record a great 4-bar phrase and loop it, right? And we can clean it up. We can clean things up in the studio, can't we? But we lose a bit of the magic when we do that. What we want is top musicianship, keeping the song fresh and making it feel alive, yeah? Anyway, Smoke on the Water, that was my defense of the song. I give it a score out of 100. Here's my score. 89. 89, pretty high. Great song. Please let me know what I should cover next time, and do subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching. See you next time.